So as soon as I fell back to sleep, I started having visions. It's 5:28 a.m. and someone had taken me to someone's house, and the woman of the house, she was selling the stuff from her children's stuff that was from the winter, and I was helping a woman look at some boots, pull out some boots. She had the stuff in piles, and I pulled out some little cute girl boots, and I was like, oh, these are pretty. They were like adult size. And then I pulled out some guy boots, like work boots, and I was like, the soles were torn off the bottom, and I put them down. And then they were looking at clothes as well. Like, they were looking at the shoes, they were looking at the clothes, and I remember feeling almost welcome in her home because someone had brought me to her home, and I had a little money, and we were going to leave her home, and they were also selling the children's stuff. And I started looking around like, okay, well, maybe I'll see something that I like. And I picked up a pair of heels, and I tried to like look at the heels, and one of the heels were broken, and I couldn't get the heels. And then so there were a pair of little jelly like sandals that you like, flats made of the jelly, and I started to put my foot in it, but it was too small, like a little girl's. And it almost looked like I could fit it, but once I put my foot to go in there, I couldn't fit them. And there were others that were in the home, and they were looking at the stuff, and they just started disappearing. And I went in the room, and there was a little girl. There was a little black girl in the room, and she was in the room all alone. And all of her stuff was just very dirty and junky all over the room, but she was on the bed, and she was watching television or cartoons or something. And she was like the darker brown skin complexion, but not really dark brown. And she had little bobos in her head, and her hair wasn't that long yet. And she had the barrettes, and she was eating candy. And they were like, she was eating some hard candy, like the little candy that's in a ball. And she looked like she may be about 4 or 5 years old. And she had different types of candy, not a lot, but just a little bit for her. And I went to the little girl, I said, may I have a piece of candy? And she looked at me and looked at her candy, and she was like, here. And I took the candy and I ate it, and I was like, I'm not going to ask her for any more candy because I know how kids are about their candy. And she was very nice to let me have one piece. And she was like, okay, like I don't want you trying to eat all my candy, but she probably would have still gave me more. And I walked out of her room all of a sudden with a little tiny cake in my hand. And the cake was about that round, and it looked almost like a zebra cake. But it wasn't a zebra cake, and I bit it, and I started eating it, and it didn't taste like a zebra cake. It was just like a regular little cake. And so I walked through the rooms where they were selling the stuff, and I saw like little boys' gym shoes, her selling her children's stuff from the winter because it was summertime. And I walked through their bedrooms, and it was filthy. And I walked to her pantry, and I opened up her pantry, and I saw that there wasn't really much food. Like, there was some food, like dressing, stuff like that. And there were cakes. There were boxes of cakes. There were the chocolate little, like, square cake things, but mainly I saw zebra cakes. And, like, the chocolate cakes, I think, had the yellow or white cake with the chocolate on it, and then there were zebra cakes. And I wanted to take one of those zebra cakes, like, I had a taste for it, and I was like, these are the children's food. And you could tell the children had been eating them, and there were probably like 4 or 5 cakes left in the box. And I was like, oh, it wouldn't hurt for me to take one cake. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I have money to eat, so I'll stop by the store and get me a zebra cake if I want one, but I'm not gonna eat the children's food. And so the people who brought me there were ready to leave, and they were like, you're good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, and I had the little piece of cake that I had leaving the little girl's room, and I like ate it, and we left out of the woman's home, and I don't remember anything other than what happened next. Next, I ended up in a motel room with a black man, and he was like my complexion, and he had braids going straight back, and he was young and tall. He looked around my age, and he didn't have a beard. It was shaved, and I think he had on a white t-shirt. And I think I told the man that I was pregnant and that I wanted to lie down or something like that. And so the man was being very nice to me, and he said, you can stay. He said, I'm not going to put you out. You can stay here with me. And so I got very comfortable, and I don't remember much, because I'll just tell you this quickly, because I'm going to probably eat a snack and go back to sleep, and my phone is dying and I need to plug it on the charger. But I don't remember much except a dark-skinned young man coming into the room, and the dark skin, I could sense the presence of a great European history. And the dark skinned man was young, and he had a haircut, and he had on a ball cap, and he was dressed all hip and everything. And he came inside the room, and he was speaking with me. And I remember seeing a dark-skinned woman with a very long weave ponytail that was kind of crinkly, very long, like her butt almost. And she had on like this blue, pink, colorful dress or something. And she was involved, but she was looking a little bit ashamed of whatever they were about to try to do. And I recall telling the man that I was pregnant, the dark-skinned man. He was younger than me, and the other guy looked like he was about 27, and I'm 30. And he was very amp. And he started behaving very wickedly in the manner that he was speaking with me. And I said, looking at the woman and the man that told me that I could stay, that was behaving so nice to me, he said something to me, and I said, so what, you want me to leave now? And I said, so what, me and the baby are not supposed to have anywhere to rest? Not for one day? And I looked at the black woman when I said it. I said, not for one day. We're not supposed to have anywhere to rest. And I was like, I looked at the black man. And I said, like, that's okay, that's fine, I'll go. And he was trying to fight me in the room. And I had my book bag that y'all saw me carrying. And the book bag was not as dirty as it was on the streets, but it still was not fully back all white like it was when I first got it, white and blue. But it was kind of like cleaner. And I grabbed my book bag, and I had a knife. And I went for the knife a little, but I think I grabbed it. And at some point, I pointed the knife at the black male. And I said to him, with the knife, because I got him to back down from me. And I said, so we're not supposed to have anywhere to rest, not for one day? And I said something about the Father and something about him sending him to hell. And I started breathing like, And then I went to the door to walk out of the door, knowing that they were trying to keep me from resting and having anywhere to rest, and making me have to pull the knife, and then telling him that he was going to hell. And it had me breathing like that because of the adrenaline of having to possibly stab him. I felt like an animal. And so I went to the door, and I said, fine, I'll go. I'll leave. And then the black male, the dark-skinned male, he got angry. And he locked the door to the hotel. And he got a razor knife and started taking the screws out of the lock to keep me locked inside of the motel room with them. And he took out each screw from around the lock: 1 screw, 2 screw, 3 screw, 4 screw, 5 screw. And the Holy Spirit said, pull out your phone and dial 911. So I was about to pull out my phone, and I said, I'm calling the police. And I grabbed my phone to start to dial 911. And the black male was about to try to fight me for trying to get my phone to call the police. And so I grabbed the knife, and God said, you stab it right into his eye. And the black male looked like that. Right when the Holy Spirit said, put it right into his eye. And he was at the door trying to lock me into the motel room and kill us. And the Holy Spirit let me know that I could not stab him or fight him, that there was no chance of me winning, to put it right in his eye. And I was about to do it. And I woke up. And I said, I must tell. because now they're going to get desperate to try to murder me. And they're watching the videos and they know that I'm going to try to do exactly what God said to do if they try to harm us. And God showed me in the jail that they were going to try to get guns. I need to eat a snack and plug my phone up, and I'm going back to sleep. Oh, God told me to say what motel that they had me in when I called 911. I was about to tell the police I'm at the Budgetel on Memorial Drive, but I'm not at the Budgetel right now, but in the Vision. I think it was symbolic for what they were trying to do to me at the Budgetel Inn. They had a man named D'Angelo Ladner bring me to the Budgetel Inn, and he knew that I was pregnant, and he was trying to hurt the baby and make me have sex with him and leave us starving in the motel room. Then he was trying to have men have sex with me for food. And they were looking in my room and plotting on me around that entire property. And I think God just wanted me to tell that part. But right now, I'm at the Academy Inn on Glenwood Road in Atlanta, Georgia. And all the men around the property do want to harm me because they were coming out when people were trying to stage altercations with me earlier today in the office. I need to save my storage because they have me in another motel room where the videos are not loading fast enough. It's taking the entire day to load one video. They're leaving me locked in the room. The woman is stopping the key from working in a weekly motel room, stopping me from being able to walk around and load my videos. It's a trap. But the man did bring me food. Well, he let me get groceries. And I have food in the room, but I can't load my videos fast enough. They're surrounding me all over every property where they bring me to. And they're trying to stop me from telling that I'm pregnant by Austin John Metter. And I pray to God that she doesn't stop my key from working again tomorrow, because I need to go out and load these videos on social media. And YouTube is putting an upload limit on my videos anyway, so I have to wait 24 hours to load my videos, but it's been about 15, 16 hours since they told me that, so I should be able to load my videos up by noon tomorrow. And I don't want to be locked in a motel room where the videos are not loading. They're trying to do everything to cover up my pregnancy in America, including trying to have black men and black women set me up to be murdered in motels and on the streets and in their houses and in establishments. May God bless you who are watching these videos and are trying to figure out how you can help.